Hi everyone, it's Brandy. I just wanted to give you a quick update. My nurse called me back from my doctor's office and kind of went over the IVF stuff with me. I am on cycle day 3, and so she told me I needed to go ahead and start the birth control pills tonight. I'm not fond of starting the birth control pills. I used to take them when I was younger, and they would make me sick on my stomach, made me feel nauseous, and sometimes I would even throw up with them. And I had major headaches with them as well, migraines. So I'm not exactly excited, but she told me to take them at nighttime, so that should help everything else. And because it's been about 10 years or more since I've taken them, because I went on the depot shot for 5 years. I had an IUD put in for 5 years, and then I was on the NuvaRing for a year before we started trying. So, you know, hopefully these will be okay. It's called Desigen, and I don't know if that's a popular birth control pill nowadays, or maybe this is a generic for something, I don't know. But this is what it looks like, and I'm assuming the white pills are probably sugar pills if everything's still lined up like it was, 11 years ago. I also have to take an antibiotic for, my husband and I both have to take this antibiotic for 7 days. And it's the generic form of Cipro, and we have to take 1 pill twice a day. I'm not a very good pill taker. I hate swallowing pills. It is my nightmare. And these little horse pills, that's pretty big to me, especially compared to these little buggers. See, it looks small, but it's really not. They're huge. I don't know how I'm going to get that down. I might have to just take it with milk or something. But my husband has to take these too. So, and luckily the doctor wrote a prescription for like 28 pills, so so my husband didn't have to get a prescription filled. It was just through me, so it saved us a little bit of money. And this is just to make sure that I don't have any infections and my husband doesn't have any infections, especially because a lot of things that you can get is from your husband or your partner, and you can literally pass them back and forth. You may not have symptoms and may not even know that you have it. So we have to take this for just in case purposes. And then the other thing I have to do is, I don't even know how to pronounce this, but it's a vaginal gel. And I'm not really sure what it's for, but this is the name of it. And you have these little applicators, and supposedly I have to do this for 5 days. I have to inject a full applicator every night for 5 days. Again, I don't know what this is for, so I'm just going to do it. And then the last thing they gave me was some Valium. It's a generic form of Valium, and they gave me 3 tablets. It says take 3 tablets by mouth before procedure as directed. And this is basically for that's for the transfer date. The retrieval date I actually have to be put to sleep for, from what I understood, and then the Valium is for the transfer date because they want you to be as relaxed as possible. And the way my week and month and whatever has been going, I might have to get a refill because I might take those suckers sooner than later. So I'll try to hold off, but yeah, it's stressful. So my schedule goes like this. So I start all that medication tonight, and I actually start an antibiotic tomorrow because they want me to start it in the morning. Then I have to go tomorrow at lunchtime and do blood work because of my TSH levels. I have been put on Synthroid, and I've been on it for about 2 months, and so they need to recheck my thyroid and make sure that my levels have gone down a little bit. Again, I don't have a thyroid problem, but my TSH levels are higher than what they should be for someone who's trying to conceive. But as far as like a normal range, if I wasn't trying to conceive, I'd be fine. So I am still taking Synthroid on top of all of this, and I'll go do my blood work tomorrow for that. And then they're also running some different blood tests for like I think it's like hepatitis and some other things that genetic, I guess, things that could potentially be passed on. Also, my husband has to do the blood test too, so he can go at any time this week and do that though. I just have to have mine done early because they need the results back by the end of the week. Because on Monday the 12th, May 12th, my husband has to go to Charlottesville with me because he has to have his semen analysis done again. And he's already had it done twice, but not by Charlottesville. And they need to do it because with the IVF process, they have to qualify you for this program called Shared Risk. And I'll give you a little bit more information on that. But so he has to have it redone, and then I have to actually have the SIS test done, and I believe that is the saline solution that they shoot up into your uterus to see if there's any polyps or anything. I've already had that done before, but they need to do it again because it's been over 6 months. And then also while I'm there doing that, they're going to try the practice transfer. So just to make sure they don't have any problems like when the real deal comes around. They just want to make sure everything's going to go good. The only bad thing about that is I have to have a full bladder, and so I don't do very well with full bladders, so we'll see how that works. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. Then that's the only thing my husband really has to do. And then the next week on the 20th, I have to go in for my baseline, which is going to be like the standard baseline you would do for an IUI. They just want to make sure that everything's looking okay and you don't have any cysts or anything forming and things of that nature. As of right now, after that, my schedule's kind of sketchy a little bit, but what the plan shows is that I will start my gonal F injections on the 24th of May, and then I will have a follow-up on the 27th, which works out really good because I want to go down to see my friends in North Carolina for Memorial Day weekend, and because I haven't seen them in a while, and I just really need a stress reliever, so they told me I could go and do that, so I was like, great, and my follow-up would be the day I come back, so the 27th would be the follow-up, and then I would inject as much as they need me to. And she said also, along with the gonal F injections, I'll be taking some other type of medication to make sure that I don't ovulate. So I'm not sure what that will be as of yet, but they just want to make sure you don't ovulate before you're supposed to. And so I'm thinking the last week of May I'm going to be pretty busy as far as probably going to have to go out for visits every day, if not every other day, just so that they can monitor me really well. And then we'll trigger shot probably the first week in June. I'm thinking probably the 1st or the 2nd of June. And then the retrieval will be a couple days after. And then 3 or 5 days after that, we will do the transfer. So, and that transfer would probably be the 2nd week of June. So by the end of June, I should know if I'm pregnant or not, or if it took, which I'm hoping it does. So that's about it. The shared risk program is pretty cool. Basically, you pay one fee, and it's around $20,000, and it gives you 4 fresh cycles. So anyone who's never done this before, a fresh cycle is basically when you're taking all this medication to produce as many eggs as you can. And what they're going to do is they're going to go and take all those eggs out and they're going to try to fertilize them. And whichever one's fertilized, you know, say I get 10 eggs out of it and only 6 fertilize. Well, we'll probably inject 2, so that'll leave us 4 to freeze. So they'll go ahead and freeze those, and then if for some reason this first cycle doesn't work, we can go and do the frozen embryos. We would at least have 2 tries with that. Then once my eggs are done, then I would have to do another cycle of medications, and that would be considered my 2nd cycle, fresh cycle. And then, you know, you would use your frozen eggs, and then you would have your 3rd cycle, your frozen eggs, and then your 4th and frozen eggs. So it's actually probably minimum 4 tries, maybe maximum, depending on how many eggs you have. I mean, it could be like 8 to 10 if you really thought about it. So, but you pay this money, and if you don't go home with a baby, then they give you your money back. So it's a guarantee. It's called share risk because what happens is if you pay the 20 grand up front and it works the first time, well then you've paid double for one regular fee for an IVF. IVF is typically between 8 to 10 grand. So if you pay 20 grand and it works the first time, well then, okay, it benefited the Charlottesville. But if it works the second time, then, you know, you kind of broke even. But then if it doesn't take and you have to do a third time or more, then you're ahead. So, and then if for some reason, if I just get emotionally and physically drained with it all, I can always say I just don't want to do it anymore, and they will actually give you a partial of your money back, so you don't lose it all, which is really good. You just have to do some tests to qualify for it, and unless you have something that, you know, isn't going to, maybe your success rate isn't very, very good at all, like even with IVF, then they have the opportunity to deny you. So it just depends. I would think maybe something like if you had a low egg count or something, that might disqualify you. So, but I think I'm going to be in the good because my doctor kept telling me that I would be a perfect candidate because they don't know what's wrong with me. They've tested everything besides endometriosis, and if it was endometriosis, it wouldn't matter because IVF would be the route we would have to go anyway. So I'm thinking we'll be good on that. So all I have to worry about now is hopefully it works the first or at least the second time. They also do tests for like gender or genetic testing, which is an extra, I think it's like an extra $4 or $5 grand each time you do it. So if it didn't, if we did it for each cycle, and that's an extra $5 grand on each cycle if we wanted to do the testing for the eggs. But that ensures that you're not going to end up with a child that's going to have like special needs or, you're paying, and I'm kind of iffy on it because at one point I don't want to play God. I don't want to, I definitely don't want to play God. But at the same point, you're putting all this money and this effort into this, and, you don't want to end up with a child that's going to need more financial, it's hard to explain. You don't want to have that burden. And I hate to say it, a burden, but you know what I mean? If you're going to pay this much money to try to have a child, you're already going through a lot as is, and it would be just a lot more emotional and stressful if your child came out with a problem. I know a friend of ours that had their baby, and it ended up having, like, trusted me, 13, I believe, or 18, and so it was born really early, but then it passed away because there was no way it was going to live. It's like something about, I think its organs didn't develop all the way, and it's a rare case, but it does happen. And so I believe they went with the genetic route the next time because who would have thought? I mean, they forked all that money out for a baby, and they got the baby, but then it passed away because of a genetic disorder they didn't even know about. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, but at the same sense, I'm like, God wouldn't have given these, doctors the capability to do this if he didn't want us to use it. So it's kind of I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm wishy-washy, but my husband definitely wants to try it. So, hi, Juno. So yeah, that's the shared risk program, and that's about it as far as everything else goes. I'm just going to start my medication tonight, and hope and pray I don't get sick, and I'm definitely trying some different things. I'm going to try to focus on myself more this month, especially since we are doing the IVF. I went for a walk today at lunchtime at the gym, and it was really nice to do that, and then I am trying to eat a little healthier and lay off the sodas. I've been drinking some sodas every now and then, and I just really need to stop. drinking caffeine, and because I think one of the requirements for this procedure is you're not supposed to drink but so much caffeine. You really are supposed to try not to drink it at all. So yeah, that's about it. And I'm going to try to stay away from fast food. As convenient as it is, I can definitely come home and make a sandwich or something. So yeah, but if you have any questions or anything about, you know, what I'm getting ready to go through, I'll be more than happy to answer them or try to answer them for you. If you have any questions about the shared risk program that I'm going to be doing with my infertility clinic, then please just post them below, and I'll be more than happy to answer those as well. So just keep us in your thoughts and prayers, and everyone else who's out there, you know, baby dust to everyone. It's going to happen one day or another. We just got to keep our chin up and move forward. So, well, I hope everyone has a great Monday, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.